Hello there, I'm Ben Rolphe. I'm a retired businessman, actually a retired entrepreneur. I spent several decades of my life starting, running, and ultimately selling several different companies. I truly have been blessed with the opportunity of not only experiencing, but ultimately achieving the American dream. Now, Anna, my wife of 33 years, and I live in North Idaho. We're not quite 100 miles from the Canadian border. We've been living in this very same house. I'm an Air Force veteran of the Korean War. Unfortunately, now more commonly identified as the Bloody War and also the Forgotten War. I learned to fly in the Air Force and then just continued to go on defying gravity and boring holes in the sky for most of my adult life. Back in 1937, my dad drove me to the Oakland, California airport in our old Star touring car. We joined a crowd of people standing behind a long rope barrier. When that crowd began to cheer, my dad reached down, lifted me up, and put me on his shoulders so that I could watch Amelia Earhart take off on the last leg of what would turn out to be her ultimately fatal attempt to fly around the world. Gosh, I could very well be the only person alive today that witnessed that historic event. My first flying experience came on my 6th birthday when a barnstorming pilot selling 10-minute rides in his old surplus Jenny biplane landed in a grassy field near our home. A red sign painted on the side of his bright yellow plane read, "Come fly with me." That day was the beginning of my lifelong love affair with airplanes and flying. Now, as I'm experiencing the fall and winter years of my life, I find myself seeking every opportunity to enjoy the peaceful tranquility of tossing a fly line into the rippling waters of a secluded mountain stream, obviously hoping to catch that really big one. Currently, I've taken to writing fiction, Christian fiction. I enjoy developing stories about unique and colorful individuals who find themselves thrown into the midst of the continuing battles between good and evil. My books are not preachy. However, they do emphasize the power of God and His Holy Spirit, working in the lives of what I like to identify as everyday people. Readers also say they are drawn to my stories because they're not only loaded with suspense, adventure, and intrigue, but that the words reach into their hearts, causing them to examine their own life and their personal relationship with God. My first 3 books are a trilogy. Each book provides an exciting and complete story that stands alone or uniquely melds into the previous or next book. I truly believe that God's everlasting willingness to become the true power in our lives is in itself the very source of our existence. If you choose to read one of my books, I pray that you'll be drawn into the intrigue and challenging adventures, and furthermore, that you'll be inspired when you read God's words embedded in the chapters of each book.